Hello and welcome to the Gilbert and Singh podcast with me, George Gilbert, and my fellow partner in crime,
Mr. Jazz, not just saying.
Mr. Jazz. Okay, so episode 5. We're racking up the numbers now.
Oh, I'm actually really excited about this one. This is episode 5 in overall series, but episode 1 for our Startup Hub series that we are planning on doing. Got an interesting guest today. We've got Fran today with us, CEO of YALLA BABY.
Very good.
Really excited about this. Fran, you want to take this off and tell us a bit more about YALLA BABY first?
Yes, thank you guys for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here first. CEO of YALLA BABY, CEO of Eureka Labs, which is the tech company behind these projects. YALLA BABY is a subscription e-commerce, which born about 2 years from now, but we've been like 1 year developing the projects, the backend, the technology, and everything, and we finally did the launch January 2020. So 8 months, already on the market. We had a 3 months pre-sales and testing the prototype last year. And we pivot and change a little bit the business model to really go to market very, very powerful, basically. And now, we are performing quite well. Hopefully, we are in an industry that hasn't been hit by the COVID, and now we are getting product market fit, very good feedbacks and reviews from our clients who are moms. YALLA BABY is a very interesting model because it's
such a niche market, right? Because you focus on pregnant ladies
but why babies though? I mean, have you got children of your own?
No.
that's an interesting
story.
one. I mean, that's
a funny story because it's the most tricky and difficult or challenging industry to be in. So the moment we deal with that and we succeed and we have a small case study on this industry, we will be able to go any other industry and with the same model, So that's why we started with the let's say the most difficult industry, and then we will be able to move around some other niche that we want to go with the same subscription model, right? But the fact of being in a subscription model is already challenging. The 10% of the startups that are in the US that are making subscription. Throughout all of these, there are many success stories, but they has been facing a lot of challenges in their operation. Same that we are, challenging right now, but because the system is not prepared the system is prepared now for a traditional e-commerce marketplace or B2C, B2B, but when it's come to subscription, you have repetitive purchase every month, or every week, or even every day. So the cycles, let's say inventory, operationally in the warehouse or logistics, even marketing is quite different. So adapting to that takes time, and not many entrepreneurs are willing to go through this process,
So tell us about the process and how it works. So someone will subscribe to it. What are they getting? What is the end user getting?
Yeah, basically, I love to say that we are like the Netflix of baby essentials and
I like that.
Products, baby products or mom's essential products, basically. So when the moms subscribe, they immediately get a discount. Okay, so in terms of commit with a service, or in this case, it's a service slash products, every month they will get a significant discount compared with any other retail or retail e-commerce. Right?
Okay.
So they can subscribe they can subscribe to certain products. So starting from the very essential, which is diapers, wipes, they can subscribe then to any other add-ons products like cream, shampoo, conditioner, formula. We have a Jira outdoor as well. But of course, there are some products that you don't use it on a repetitive way. You just use it one time, let's say. So the ones the ones that moms use every month or every week or wherever, they can subscribe, they get a discount, and they receive on the doorstep a very nice premium presentation box with all the products inside that the mom pick on the platform in a very friendly and quickly way, because it's in less than 3 steps. Moms go to the checkout and they can select and pick the products. So this box that you see on the pictures on Instagram and all of this is very special. We said that it's like a surprise box. I compare it with let's say the Kinder chocolate, and when you open it, you have some surprises. Because when you open that box, you don't only find the products that mom picks, but also you can find some extra adding value products like free sampling. So we are also a business model for the brands to promote new products. So they give us some free sampling, they advertise in our boxes. Mom can see what are the new products from the brands. We also put some gift for the baby, small toy for free as well, and some voucher discount. So it's a mix and combination that this become such a nice experience for the mom. So when the moms open, ideally we want the moms and the dad or the parents together with the baby opening the box, and this is like the happiness we want to show.
Well, I mean, I think the key point here is the fact that it's just easier. Instead of going X, I'm going to go get diapers from here, go to the supermarket, especially with the COVID thing, it's just easier to order everything online and get everything for the next couple of months.
Well, everything now is about saving time, and I think that's going to be the key. Everyone's, people are ordering InstaShop, and ordering things from the shops. People want to take that convenience. That's why Uber does so well, is because it's people are saving time. So I take it you're bulk buying products from your suppliers, which is allowing you to be cheaper than the marketplace. Like the regular supermarkets. Is there a percentage in terms of the saving that parents are making? Because it's so expensive to raise a child.
Yes, to be honest, yes. In terms of the discount we mostly offer a very good discount on the first box, to try the service and see if this is what the moms look for. So basically, apart from the discount that when they subscribe, they get 10% discount, we offer some good discount for the first box. But I could tell you that in a middle long term, let's say 3 to 6 months, even we have moms now that they has been with us 8 months already.
Oh,
so from the beginning, basically from last year, from the pre-sales stage. So basically in a long term, they really save money, because apart from, let's say, spending time, which is also, priceless, or have to go to the supermarket, they have to take, even if you have a maid or a nanny, you have to take the kids on the car and go to the supermarket. Apart from that, let's say, problem that they have, issue that they have, we can demonstrate that from the first box discount and having that 10% every month, at the end, they will save money, okay? Of course, I'm always compared with the retail e-commerce, okay? I'm comparing with Mom's World, with Esprit, with even Amazon, which is, we are competitive on that way. But in some products, we have very competitive prices, even with, let's say, Carrefour or retail,
So it's brilliant. So the thing is, you mentioned product market fit initially as well. You said we are almost there. Usually what happens is when you start a tech platform, isn't it better to get to product market fit in your pre-sales bit and then launch then? But in this case, you're getting to product market fit now. So what's the difference, pre-sales and now?
No, product market fit is when you go to market, 100%. Okay, you cannot get product market fit having let's say, a pre-sales with early adopters, or let's say doing like focus groups or events in which you go and sell and you try this is mostly pre-launching, but product market fit.
Sorry, for people listening, a product market fit is when your product fits into the market, like the word says. I think that the magic number is 40%, 41%. That's what you should be looking for it to be a success. It's when the market accepts your product for what it is and says, you know what, we can't live without this product. We need this in our life. If this goes, we are going to be unhappy. 40%, that's the magic number.
Yeah. So what sort of research do you have to do then? I mean, that must require a lot of research to understand that. I mean, what research did you do initially, or did you think it's a great idea, let's just run with it?
No, in terms of YALLA Baby, there was a combination of stuff. I mean, we came from the tech background, right? And mostly e-commerce. Eureka Labs has been very successfully worldwide in developing and selling e-commerce. So we sold e-commerce classified, basically marketplace, C2C, a la Maula to eBay. So was in 2011. That was the first main exit, and we became the classified of eBay group in South America. So in all the South American countries. Then we have My Marketplace. We did My Marketplace in the US, that was the beginning of the subscription for the group, basically. That was exit to Naspers Group. Naspers Group is another big investment in e-commerce. Then we became part of Naspers Group, so we did in Buscapé in Brazil, which is the top 5 marketplace. We relaunched the platform completely. That was the third big success. So we came from that background. In 2018, we've been working as a startup studio, investing and also be part of the project of a similar model than YALLA Baby with baby essential subscription in Buenos Aires, in Argentina, Bambox. Bambox, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Babies.
I like YALLA Baby a lot more. Yeah.
So basically, that was another story because the context, the situation in Argentina, the logistics system worked pretty much different. Inflation, all the economy that affect your business is quite different. But the thing is, we've got, let's say, 50% of that model. We adapt into the Middle East. We got a lot of ideas and tips from Honest.com, which is a similar business model, but they have their own brand. They don't use multi-brands in the US. And then purely adaptation to the market. We started with a model that was like close bundle price. Then we realized that we need a marketplace oriented, even though we are a subscription. So we have changed this end of last year, and we relaunched purely.
It's crazy. So you know what you're saying. I keep seeing so many pitfalls in launching a tech platform, a successful tech platform. There's so many pitfalls. Obviously, you said you relaunched a couple of times. Did that happen with YALLA Baby, for example? Did you have any pitfalls in terms of, obviously we know COVID happened and that was the biggest pitfall anyone could have. But other than that, did you have to think, oh, you know what, let's rebrand this and launch it again? Or has it been smooth sailing in terms of the brand itself?
Well, this is the conflict all the entrepreneurs has. I've been listening to many, let's say, motivational speakers or keynote speakers saying that a startup does not need investment at the beginning, does not need any fundraising at the beginning. But this is tricky because you speak like this in general. But let's go to tech, let's go to e-commerce, for example. Mostly tech. You need to go and do test error. I mean, you cannot go to the market and find the right niche, the right product market fit, or quickly get the product market fit. So you will invest in and burning cash, So if someone now, I could say that it's impossible because you believe that this is the model that will get quickly that product market fit, but that in the middle you have constraints or issues with the setup, for example, that we have. For example, we have like more than 4 or 5 months waiting for a bank account, so we cannot operate without a bank account. Then you realize that let's say front end in which this is like what the customer see on the platform is not friendly at all.
The user interface.
The user interface is not friendly at all. and moms want to see their price per unit and not a closed bundle. Okay. So we realized that, and that was on the way. We cannot make let's say an effective assumption before, because otherwise if I have that let's say power to do that, I will succeed all the time. So this is the thing. You need that money, because in the middle you are moving and you're wasting your money.
Yeah, but it's a double-edged sword, isn't it? Because you need the money to do all of this, but at the same time you need to go up to an investor and show him that this is going to work. And
exactly.
When you have these problems, if I'm an investor, I'm thinking, would this be worth my investment? I mean, so it's interesting, because you mentioned the whole investment part. It's not easy, especially concerned with the timings that you're in. It's not easy getting investment. So how do you go around convincing someone, saying, invest in my business, but also invest in the fact that we will make mistakes along those 6, 8, 10 months, or whatever your time frame is. So how do you go along with those?
Basically, you have to demonstrate that you really know what you're doing. That you come from the last 10, 15 years in this industry, and and you can demonstrate that you had successful stories worldwide before. Secondly, so that means the team behind, let's say the co-founder team behind. Then there are certain level of saying that, okay, I could get a mistake on finding or the assumption at the beginning, or I can go to that niche, and then I say, no, that's not the niche, so we need to go to that niche. Basically, there are certain mistakes, but if you know that this is part of the journey, okay, and you demonstrate that you know and you have the ability to move quickly, and we demonstrate that. Basically, in 2-3 months, we make a pivot, everything to marketplace. And in the beginning, we launched with that marketplace, and now 8 months after, we are, let's say, 70% of the break even. So something brilliant. Like crazy.
Oh, brilliant.
Having a very efficient, let's say, operational structure with less people, but at the same time, efficient in terms of customer service. We have freelance working very well. It's hard, of course, it's hard to find that team. Then we will speak about that. Because the tricky and the most challenging things in tech is to find the right team, right? You spend a lot of time to get the right developers, the right designers. But when we came from a group that we already have those resources from the last 10 years in which they has been going through different e-commerce, that makes investor be relaxed and trusted and confident,
So how would you start the team then? So if obviously you've got experience in e-commerce, but if someone wanted to set something up in e-commerce, where would they start? I mean, obviously the CEO is at the top and he's wanting to start this business. Who would you bring in first? Which sort of experience and profession?
So it's not just e-commerce though. I mean, any tech startup, any fintech, or anything.
Yeah, 100%. I would say any project, because now it's so important to have the right partners first, shareholders first, and then your team, that it could apply for any industry, to be honest. But in terms of tech, it's more tricky, because we live now after COVID even more. We live in a world in which maybe that has been, I will never see my developer face. You know what I mean? Because we work with deployed employees that they are in Argentina, they are in the US, some of freelance from Philippines or Indian. Yeah. You never see their face personally, right? Yeah. So let's say as a leader, emotionally, you don't have that touch, right? You don't have that things. So you need to really use. There are many tools for that things in terms of, let's say, how to measure the performance, even emotion. Slack, for example, we use Slack. Slack is like internal chat, communication, project management, everything there, in which also there is a very nice apps inside Slack that ask you every morning to the employees, are you happy today? So if you put a smile face, you know that the guy is happy. If you put something wrong, okay, it give you an alert, you as a leader, to ask, hey, what happened with you today? Everything is fine.
Oh, but that's brilliant.
You have, it's brilliant. You got to the goal, because we work with like weekly goals, So we learn how to deal with artificial people that are not, and that you have daily, operational dialogue or interaction that you never met this guy.
Yeah, welcome to New Age Entrepreneur.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So, and this has happened from the last 20 years. So we've been accustomed, we get used to that. So the moment that COVID happened, we are ready, we are prepared to work that, because we have been working the last year anyway, without pandemic. You know what I mean? So this is the things. Now companies, startups worldwide that are not from the tech, they really have to adapt to this new era,
See, that's the thing. What do you want to look in? So if I'm looking for a CTO, a chief technical officer, or not even CTO, just a team to run the business, what should I be looking for? Should I be looking for someone who's got experience? Should I be looking for someone who's got connects, contacts, or contracts? What is it that I should be looking for when I say, you know what, George, I'm going to bring you on, or Fran, I'm going to bring you on, but what do I look for? Are there certain categories that you have fixed in your mind? Be like, if he doesn't fit this or she doesn't fit this, no.
Well, this is tricky, but it's a good question on that checklist. Let's say, I will personally look for experience in the niche market.
Okay.
I'm not talking about babies. I'm talking about.
I was going to say. I mean, like experience in babies.
No. I'm talking about tech, purely tech, e-commerce, right?
Okay.
And then it's very important to have business mindset. Okay, that is the key. Why? We know that the developers' background and they are special, in math and programming, all of this. But the moment they don't understand what is the business behind, okay, they don't understand the customer, because every single part of your startup company needs to be customer oriented now, right? 100%.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you lose. So I would say that the most important things to find a right, let's say, partner or CTO or like head C-level is having a business mindset, apart from knowing the language of programming and having experience in the e-commerce.
One that understands the customer for
exactly,
customer needs.
Because then happened that meeting that I love, because I'm very tough. I'm considering very tough within the company, because
Fran?
Yeah.
You consider tough?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
In terms of, I'm very detailed. I like everything perfect. So the fact of, let's say, I have this conversation many times in which you have a product manager from one side. That the product manager, of course, is the link between the developers and the marketing, all of the business things.
Okay.
So he has to translate to the developer what happened in the business, right? But you can save time and even money if your, let's say, CTO make that work as well, right? Because it's quite easy. The CTO will speak the same language with the developers, and at the same time will understand what you want. Because what I want is basically what the customer wants. Okay, because we are on the front and on the back. I'm telling you on my role, or like as a co-founder, right? Basically. So I would say that point number one is that business mindset, having an idea of that products, an idea of what we are selling, idea in our case, what is the subscription means, okay? Yep. Because all the procedures, operation on the back end also has been changed a lot. You cannot, we use Shopify, for example, as a main platform, but we are using, let's say, 20-15% of Shopify features. Everything we have separately is your own. Okay. But that has been modified so many times in this month to get that really product market fit, because of this subscription. It's something new for everyone.
Well, I mean, but that's the thing. It's funny because, again, you keep mentioning product market fit. If any budding entrepreneurs or startup entrepreneurs that are listening to this, that is one of the most important things that you should be focusing on
at the beginning.
Beginning is your product 100%. Market fit. If you so obviously, because I'm also currently working in the tech part of it, so I've seen a couple of things. Is people jump too quick from an idea to saying, oh, you know what, this is going to work. To scale it up.
Zoom. It's a big mistake.
It's a big mistake. You shouldn't be going from A to F straight away. It's A, B, C, D. And that's the biggest problem people face here is when to scale. Do I go jump to the top of Burj Khalifa right now, or do I go step by step? I think that's such a big problem in this market. And how do we counter that? How do we teach people that this is not what you should be doing? Because again, this is a very young market, the Dubai market, the UAE market, very young market in terms of, tech platforms.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a child and the child before walking, he want to ride the bike.
Again, it's funny. Fran always uses babies as a reference, if you notice that.
Okay.
Because it is his baby.
It's his baby,
I need to sell my brand. Basically, you have a child and the child want to ride the bike before walking, basically.
Well, smart baby.
I will invest on this because this will be a famous athlete. Now, what I would say is that you need to push him through the process of growing up. I did this comparison because in a startup or in a business is pretty the same, right? Because you have many consequences if you wanna when you scale with the wrong within the wrong market. It's a mess. The money you will burn there is incredible. And if you don't have money, even worse. So that is so important on the product market fit. Product market fit is a combination of tests in marketing, ABC. It's a beta, ABC testing. It's a combination of we used to have like 30 different landing pages or home pages.
30.
30. So we make a testing, sending the traffic, splitting the traffic to all of these to see which of them has much better conversion, for example.
So this is the marketing through social media.
Exactly.
Yeah, and drawing them in, so seeing which one works.
Or social media or even the web page. So this is the thing. It's a combination, a mix of activities throughout the whole operation, because on the back end as well, you need to check, if for example, moms order more, let's say, cash on delivery or credit card, and how they will do that on the checkout, and that push the order, and when the order is pushed, Shopify work as a normal marketplace. Order and push, and you send the delivery when the clients get the date and the shipping date, everything. Right. But on subscription, which is this repetitive every month, the order must be pushed automatically. So all of this has to really work very, very well to say, okay, we really go there.
Yep.
It's not only marketing purely. It's about everything. It's about logistic, inventory, stock. You need to know that. Let's say we have a report of upcoming boxes ahead 2 weeks. So we know the forecast 2 weeks, how many boxes, how many products we will deliver. That cyclic on, for example, back-to-back products, you need to have control. The system needs to understand if that product is available on the stock of your supplier, to commit and fulfill that order in the coming 2 weeks. So it's a gymnastic, a fitness that then when you really get, okay, we are having good reviews, successfully feedback from the moms. We are having moms that has been with us 7-8 months already, subscribe. We have very good. We are very active and receiving good feedback in social media. We work with brand ambassador influencers. We get. Then you look at the financials. So when you look at a whole overall situation, let's say now, you said, okay, I am 50%, 70%, 80% to the product market fit. And when you get the product market fit, and this is what we are expecting, because we are very very well on currently or nowadays, expecting break even and product market fit at the end of the year. This is the moment you start thinking of how to scale, because this is the moment when the child is walking and starting running and maybe using a vehicle with.
So when you're close to product market fit is when you should be deciding, you know what, now is the good time for us to scale, to go bigger.
Yeah, go bigger means add
more things, go to different market,
or go to a new round of investor. You can, if you did not have a early stage investment, you go to the investor now and you say, listen, this is the product market fit, this is what we achieve, this is what we invest. It's very important to show to investor that the co-founder has invested not only money but time, and the opportunity cost to say, okay, this is my background, this is my CV, I left everything that I was very good on that life to show that this project has product market fit to you. So now you be confident and trust me and invest. So all of these process work, and then you have that budget to say, okay, let's go and be aggressive on the market. Be aggressive on the market in tech is 2-3 months in which you fly. You don't have margin. The ones who start hesitating to say no, but let's invest gradually. No. This is scale. And this is what mostly people start looking for new geographies.
Sounds
and
exhausting.
Countries.
Sounds really exhausting.
So what sort of cost really for a startup? What sort of cost do you think somebody needs to get going? I mean, what sort of money do they need, whether they borrow it or whether they've got their own financing? What's a sensible figure, an average figure that you think that's what you're going to need?
Well, this depends on many variables. The country. Like if we are having the same discussion in Argentina, I would say that it's quite complicated. But it will depend also in which industry you are. But in tech, basically you can start. I mean, if you have some key resources that you need, like they say developers, a CTO is quite important. You as that business mindset, someone expert in marketing, digital marketing mostly, you can start without or minimal budget in which you can invest from your pocket, apart from your time, right? What investor does not like is saying that you continue working with companies, your own having a work, and on your free time you are doing that project. This is not possible.
But they want you to be 100%.
Yeah, they want to be 100%, and they want you to see. I mean, when we started at the beginning, we in YALLA BABY and all of these projects, we invest something about $30,000 or $40,000 plus, let's say.
But you also had the luxury, like you said, of having a developer team behind you. With Eureka
Labs. Yeah. This is a model called Startup Studio, or now you can do venture as a service, which is another name that came from that thing. Startup Studio is to say, if I don't have the money to really go and afford expensive CTO or developers or resources, I go and partner with a company which they already have that resources, like Eureka Labs. But also they have the playbook, how to do e-commerce effectively and in subscription. They have playbook is another very interesting word to put it as a product market fit as well. So, and they have the resources. So you partner there, you give them some equity, you attract them first than the investor, and so you can start working
on a cheaper scale.
On a cheaper scale. Then the money you invest is what we did it. Focus group, event, invite early adopters. Early adopters are the ones the customer you believe they will be the customer who be part of the product market fit, right? Your final customer. You invite them, you do focus group, you do pre-sales, you start branding the idea, you start partner or paying for delivery or warehouses. So that is the first money. You can make it with, let's say, $50,000 or less, depending the scale of the project. Let's say in e-commerce.
Yeah, I think $50,000 to $60,000 is the general price point value that you should be looking at if you're going to be investing.
Okay, so around 200,000 dirhams, and
roughly, yeah. I think that would be the sweet spot. Just because, again, you also have to understand in Dubai you have to get a license.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that? 30,000.
Well, no, but that's the thing. ADGM in Abu Dhabi. So they've done really well. So they've started
$5,000 US dollars.
It's amazing.
You can open an account because this is a holding offshore, but it's
an SPV, so you can hold a financial account. You don't have to open it in LLC for about 8 months.
Okay. Exactly.
So Dubai's done really well in terms of actually helping startups.
Yeah, 100%.
But but the general point price that you say would be about $50,000 to $60,000, but to get a working MVP, which is a most viable product, which is a working
the prototype. Basically.
Yeah, prototype of your.
So realistically, the individual needs to be putting up $50,000 to $60,000, or is that what you need an investor, or the investor?
Well, you can get an angel investor. I think you can get an angel investor, which is
I would suggest not to get an investor for that minimal money. Because you start killing your cap table from the beginning, and this is not good suggestion. Yeah. I mean, from my side.
Well, yeah, keep it between family and friends.
I would rather go and ask a loan in the bank if I don't have it, or sell my car if I have a car. No, really, because getting a pre-revenue, we got a pre-revenue investor, but our case was different. We came on board with the whole model and with the whole team and the prototype, everything, But going to the normal situation, I would suggest not to go with an angel investor or an investor with such minimal level of money. Get a loan from your family, from the bank, sell your car. As soon as you are confident that this project will have success, not success because it's a big word, but this project will run and go to market and at least will start walking, to get that product market fit. You go to start pitching for an angel or someone who early stage investor or something like this.
Oh yeah, sorry. For people again listening, angel investor is exactly what the word angel says. It's an angel that comes down and says, "I like your idea. I'm going to take X percentage of your company, and then I'm going to invest in the idea itself. I'm going to help you build this idea."
So they actually help you build it, or are they silent?
They help you build it.
Or?
Yeah, no, they help you build it by putting in money. So you just go up to someone with an idea. I come up to you and say, "George, let's do podcast," all right? And you say, "Okay, cool. I will put in 100,000 dirhams, buy the equipment, get a marketing team, put the thing out there. Let's do this. I believe in you, George." That's an angel investor. I could be wrong. I mean, Fran.
No. It's true. But again, it will depend on many factors. On our case, because we have the playbook, we have the people, we know how to do. We have 15 years in e-commerce and successful stories. We need a passive investor, right? Passive investor mean
put the money.
I will send you the reports. We know what we are doing, and it's quite different because in some way when you know what you are doing and you have a very active investor that wanna be involved, it can create some kind of conflicts of interest there, and make you make you losing the vision, losing your way. But if you don't, you know what you're doing, or roughly or you have expert in the industry, but you don't have the network. this is the strategy to say, I want your money, but I want your network too, and I want your expertise, because I know that you have 15 years doing podcasts, for example.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So
but in some cases, people don't necessarily want the input; they just need the money.
In some cases, they just need the money. In some other cases, they need a combination of both.
Yeah.
Mostly. And there are some other cases in which they say, well, I have very small money that I can give you some equity, but I know that you have a database of, I don't know, 20,000 moms, because you have been working with moms, and that is what I am interested on. So how can we, partner or do something? So it's all about a strategy, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay. But this is when also it's tricky. But this is when entrepreneurs fail as well, because they want the money, and it's true. It's very important at the beginning. They select one investor in which at the end it will be quite difficult, to deal, because then you need to understand that you have not less to 2 to 3 more rounds of investment, until you get a full exit, if that is your goal.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so it's new people coming that have different interests, and then you have to deal with that board.
Yeah.
So it's complicated.
That was one of the questions I was going to come on to, is, the psychological pressure then on you as an individual when you bring somebody else in there. I've always thought about this, I've kind of, there's an entrepreneurial spirit with myself.
You lose some hair.
Yeah, I could imagine. Because you think to yourself, if I get this wrong,
my hair's covered, sorry. So
Yeah.
I can't lose hair.
well, mine's going as well.
No, but go on. So yeah, George, it's an interesting point that you said, the psychological thing that you have against.
I personally would be in fear of wanting to reach out for an investor, because I would rather let myself down than let somebody else down.
Wow, that's an interesting point. Yeah. I mean,
but that's me personally. So.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel on that. I mean, obviously I would prefer to have the money and the finances to be able to do it on my own, but also there's certainly, I don't know everything. So it's also, it's a catch-22. You kind of need that person, like you were saying, because they've got all these expertise. But I would just, I don't know. I don't know whether the doubt would set in. I think, if you were putting 100,000 dirhams in, I'd be like, oh shit.
Well, I think that's amazing, because, so I'll give you a personal experience as well. So I've obviously started a tech venture. I've come to you a couple of times for advice on this as well. So we faced issues in terms of, obviously, fraudulent behavior and all of this. I'm not going to mention all of this for now. But the biggest concern was, for me, not the business should run. Cool, I can still run the business, but it was the investor that put in money initially, about 100,000, which is to get a working model of the MVP initially. My thing was, oh my Lord, I've let this person down. He's putting money, and now I need to return this money back in some way or the other. How's this going to work? And that's what George is coming to. The psychological. How do you get past that psychological?
But also,
thing?
just to add, just before you say something, is it's like, does that take the enjoyment out of business? Because surely, as an entrepreneur, you want to do something that you potentially enjoy, and you want to see the rewards coming from it. I wanted to throw that in there as well.
It's an interesting question, but the thing is, it will depend on if the person who is giving the money is an investor, and his role is to behave on let's say on behalf of the VC, venture capital company, or himself is an angel investor, and is his money. It's like asking to a football player to don't be pressured when they go to a final of a Champions League. They are football players, and they know that it's part of the journey. This is part of the role. So part of the investor role is to bet or invest that money, and
I like the word bet.
No, that's a valid point, though.
Yeah. But is give the money. losing or winning. Is that
it's a gamble on his part.
It's a gamble of his part. I mean, if it is the money from your dad, your father, your moms, or any relative, or is the money from a friend, or you maybe feel guilty and embarrassed or something. It happened to me in the past, of course, but it's something
part of the game.
Different story. But when you are talking about investor, they are professional, and part of their role as a professional is that they know that this money.
They know the risks.
They diversify. So what they lose from this side, they get from that side.
So it's interesting. You mentioned past experiences. Obviously, when I met you, we were trying to do something completely different. We were working in the energy sector as well. We were trying to work something out. So it's how do you past experiences direct you into your? As an entrepreneur, you're going to make mistakes.
Sure.
How do you not let your past mistakes get over your mental psyche and go, okay, you know what, I've done this, I can't repeat this again, but what if I do it again? How do you get past that mental block of previous failures, for example?
This is experience. This is fails, again fails. And I would say that it's the same when you fail with woman or in the case of woman, men.
Many times.
You know, you say that you get the same rocks in the way, and because we attract the same kind of person, and at the end we regret because we fail again and we fail again. It's a learnership. It's a part of the journey. So you fail, then you regret, and you say, okay, I will never commit that mistake. Then you go back with that mistake, and then say again. So basically, it's like this. I have many comparison things, but it's like this. It's experience. It's having through or going through very, very bad moments to realize that when you are in a good position, you need to be blessed and thanks God, to really go through that process in the past, because it's about learn. It's about learn.
So how long have you been running businesses, and how long have you sort of been doing startups?
I've been as an entrepreneur from my 18 years old, doing trying to do things normal, minimal things. Like I used to have a woman clothes brand.
Okay.
And
very good.
It was funny because I didn't know anything about women clothes.
About women or clothing?
No, clothing. About women, about clothing. And I had another man partner, so we went all together, going to Buenos Aires from my city, Cordoba, which is far away from Buenos Aires, to buy some clothes and sell in my city, right? But buy woman clothes, and we didn't know. I mean, so I asked to my girlfriend or my mom, so I say, what this is a fashion now or not? And we used to sell it by a website or Facebook, Then yes, I work a lot in corporate. Different big multinational companies and SMEs, but at the same time I study, and at the same time I was always looking for something to do by myself.
Yeah.
Then I ran a restaurant, a nightclub in my city as well. Then I travel a lot. I study in Paris, in France. I think travel all over the world is make your mind blow, and boost.
Brilliant.
Yeah. In order to find innovative, solution or products or I start thinking in tech when I came back from Paris when I finished my MBA 2011. I remember the QR code. That time the QR code were only in BlackBerry to change the PIN, only there. Yeah. But when I studied the QR code, there was a lot of things behind. You can put a PDF link. It's like now
the menu. The menu on the thing,
whatever.
Yeah.
But at that time, nothing.
Yeah.
So I did my first failure in technology because I couldn't continue. A platform called Quick Read. which was a Facebook platform, something like a social network platform, in which you can connect with people by a QR code. So basically, I print T-shirt with a QR code, my QR code, so the woman or whatever they want to know myself, they post there the BlackBerry, and they check my profile.
So it's like a dating app for Facebook.
Well, but 2011.
Yeah.
Not Tinder, no Face, no Meetups,
so maybe
not even Instagram, not even QR
maybe
code.
you were just ahead of the curve, right? So you were a couple of years before.
The thing is to think out of the box as well. The thing is to, when you travel, you see all of this and you imagine and you start investigating and researching, try to bring those ideas to your country, and this is how it works, I think.
But I think that's a great point in terms of how you keep trying. You're going to fail, keep failing, because that's how you learn.
Exactly. It could be expensive though if you keep failing. That's the only problem.
I mean, but when you have your first millions on your pocket or on your bank, you will see, well, that deserves,
was worth it. Yeah,
was worthy. I mean, I'm not telling you that I have this now, but when I have it, that's the plan. After many failures, you will think about this. Quick read, QR code. I will smile, I will laugh. But that was a learn.
The taste of success is a lot sweeter when you've got the sour taste of failure behind you.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly. See, I just made that up. I think I'm going to patent that one.
Well, I'm quite optimistic for Yalla Baby. The only reason why, because I think even though we see COVID, I think there's going to be a bit of a baby boom early next year.
Yeah, it's funny because I was actually I wasn't sure if I should mention this in the podcast because they're called Corona babies.
I don't know.
I've got 6 cousins.
I don't think that's a technical term, but
I've got 6 cousins that are expecting around Jan, which is end of March,
so
start of April.
6 Yalla Baby box. 6
Yalla Baby
voucher discount.
Well, I think some of my cousins are in Canada. So if you deliver,
no, the good thing is for all the audience and the listener and the ones who will listen the podcast and sharing or something, we can give some discount.
Oh, brilliant!
Yeah, really. Now we are launching like a new business within Yalla Baby, which is for gift. I remember that you made.
Oh yeah, we did this.
So now we have a lot of moms asking for not only to get subscribed, which is the main business model, but also to because the presentation of the box is so nice for a gift. They are asking for that. So basically, they will be able to enter a separate landing page from the Yalla Baby, and they will pick a gift section.
Yep.
It's like a gift card or something like this, but they can pick more or less what are the different options, bundles. That would be amazing for a gift, to be honest.
Yeah, just for context, right? I'm going to take 50% of all the sales because this was my idea. I started off the
revenue sharing.
Yes, I was the first one to go up to Fran and say, listen, I've got a friend who's giving birth in a couple of months.
You just pointed me there, and I know I put some weight on it with COVID.
If that was possible. But no, it's funny because you mentioned the word. I think this is what I wanted to end the note on anyway, is collaborations, because you are in a part of the world now where you need to collaborate with other companies. You 100%. Need to talk to other brands, and you mentioned this, be like revenue sharing. How important is that to your business model as well, or anyone's business model?
Number one, and now we are in a sharing economy world. Now, number one, knowing that the world is in crisis after the pandemic, the power of partnerships is a key, and not only.
Again, I'm going to patent that one as well. The power of partnership is
key.
Prominent.
Okay, prominent. Yeah, it's true. Why? Because, again, I give you an example with Yalla Baby. We became like an advertising channel for those startups that are offering some baby products, mostly organic, which is quite good, to advertise their products in our boxes. Okay, so we do win-win with them. They give us some of them. We do revenue sharing. We do like back to back. They give us stock to places in our warehouse, not in their warehouse. And then when we sell, we pay that. With Bioderma, which is a huge brand in creams, we have very, very good partnerships in which we are now doing a subscription e-commerce platform for them, testing in YALLA Baby first. So bundles with different creams for your baby and the moms, same, So there are many experience I can tell you. For example, now I have like no less than 5 startups also related to baby industry, in which they want to go to Saudi Arabia, also launch there. And we are planning to do this in next year. So basically we can go all together, share the logistics, share the fulfillment, because we are very expert on that.
To reduce the cost.
We can fulfill for them. We can advertise and do like sharing, digital marketing, advertising, everything. We are doing giveaway with all of this brand, promoting our social media. We are doing sharing influencer now. So basically all the influencer of YALLA Baby, because we sell some other brands, those influencers are mainly influencers from YALLA Baby, but they tag all the other brands. And with this, we have a model in which we get feedback and we get also money from them, budget from them. So we co-invest in marketing. So all of this is the mind that every startup entrepreneur that are going through e-commerce need to have. But not only e-commerce, power of partnerships everywhere.
Yeah, brilliant.
Exactly.
No, but this has been an amazing podcast so far. I've actually quite enjoyed this one.
Yeah, it's good. I've learned a lot, and I think that's what's key about this is we're learning a lot, just you and I, and
hopefully the listeners as well. Yeah, no, but let's do this. Like you said, anyone listening, please get in touch with us for any more information related to YALLA Baby or any sort of tech platform information that they need. Obviously, you said anyone who does get in touch with Fran through us would get a discount.
Exactly, 100%. This is on my...
Well, no, not 100% discount, just a...
no, 100% decision made.
But this is great, because I think what we're going to be doing, because we're creating a community in terms of the startup thing, I think I would love to, we'll see, we'll probably get you back on for a bit more detailed information into what's in the future and all of this as well. If there's anything else you want to add to, if anything we've missed.
Not only e-commerce or basically, we have that tech company with those resources. So I would invite to anyone that was thinking on going online to do any
pivot online. Online.
What happened now with the COVID, and this is something I saw in Argentina when I was locked down there, right? So many shops, they have retail or shops. They were closed because of the COVID for the lockdown. So they have to reborn, right? So they went online. They started selling the products online in social media. They started looking for any platform like Shopify, PrestaShops, or anyone that can do an e-commerce and sell online. So this is the things what the world now after this pandemic is pushing us to go online. To be honest.
Pivot online.
Purely. And we are here to support all of this kind of business and startups. We can really advise or. Also, we have developers and team to create those.
I think this is exactly what we wanted to do when we started the podcast, is give people that don't have access to something like this.
Understand and have access.
Brilliant. Thank you, Fran.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for
thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for you do still owe me a Argentinian barbecue, so please.
No, next time with very good Argentinian meat, which is also an e-commerce from Argentinian entrepreneurs, which is
Fran's always in his business mode.
Yeah, no, but I will definitely invite you guys.
Thank you very much. Again, thank you so much for being here, Fran.
Thank you, Fran.
Thank you.
Guys, hit the subscribe button and we'll see you in the next podcast.
All right, bye-bye.